Hey everyone! Welcome back to Adventures with Martin and Kyle. Today we're here to show you how to make an awesome garden.
The first step is to find the perfect location around your house to place the garden. You're going to want to avoid areas with poor drainage, areas that are prone to having standing water. If you have a place that's southern facing, that's going to give you more sunlight throughout the year.
Next, we like to get inspired by looking at Pinterest, Googling, and searching all of our favorite home goods sites. I found hundreds of designs that I liked on Pinterest, and I sent them over to Kyle.
Yeah, take those ideas, customize it, mix it together, make the build your own. After you got your napkin sketch, I like to transfer that over to the computer and model it up. Now, if you don't have CAD software, that's okay. You can definitely tackle this project without it, but it does make the build much easier. There are free, easy to use programs out there like Fusion 360 that are going to help you discover issues before they happen. And at the end of modeling, you're going to have a precise bill of materials, and it's easy to calculate how much dirt you're going to need. I started removing the sod with a shovel, then I had the idea to use an edger, which actually worked great. If any of you landscapers out there have any tips on removing sod, let us know in the comments section below. After the ground is level, now is a good time to throw down a weed barrier. Alright, there's really only 4 tools you're going to need: a miter saw, a drill press, a pocket hole jig, and your cordless hand drill. Now the sawing should go pretty quick, provided you have a bill of materials to work off of. One thing I would suggest is making yourself a jig. If you have a lot of boards that are the same length, and you're going to be making the same repetitive cut over and over, then it's going to save you a whole lot of time. You're not going to have to measure each one of these boards out. You're just going to have to find some way of attaching it. A lot of miter saws actually have ways of attaching it. Otherwise, there's tabs on almost every one of them. And so, there you go. Set your board down and push it over to the side, chop it to length, and you can knock out a whole lot of wood really quick that way. All right, next step, drill press. You're going to want to pre-drill through holes through all these boards. If you're using something like cedar, like I am here, I could recommend doing, because it's going to resist a lot of rot, and it's going to last a pretty long time for your raised garden bed and just look really nice. But it does tend to come dry from Home Depot or Lowe's. So you're going to want to put a through hole through here, not rely on driving a screw or a nail through here, because it's going to have a tendency to split the wood and not going to last nearly as long. When you put a pilot hole through here, that's going to make sure that your holes are in the same spot every time. It's going to look really nice. Also, I'd recommend that you use screws instead of nails. You know how through the seasons it can heat cycle, and then if you guys have ever maintained a fence, you'll notice that the screws or the nails kind of work themselves back out, and then you have to go through and hammer them in to make sure your raised garden or your fence doesn't fall apart, and that's not what you want to be doing. You can get yourself a drill press for pretty cheap. I'll link a description below. I got this one at Harbor Freight for like 50 bucks. These countersink bits really make the job go a lot easier too, because you're doing everything in one step. It's nice and centered, and it looks really good. You're going to want to join your lumber with pocket hole screws. So they're pretty easy to use. I've fixed up this jig to measure the distance to the edge of the board. It's going to give you a secure connection. Has a collet on it to make sure it doesn't go too deep. go. It's going to give you a nice secure connection. So piece of 4x4, for example, I'm going to join them up. Very sturdy. Pre-assemble the panels in your workshop, then carry them to the site. This design calls for 11 cubic yards of dirt, and it's going to take a lot of trips with a wheelbarrow, so don't be afraid to ask for some help.
Come on, row.
It probably does fine with the whole full load.
Good job. Good job, Rowie.
When you're hauling that dirt over to the raised garden, one thing you might want to do is leave the front panels open. It's going to make it a little easier to dump that dirt in. And then once you're getting towards the end, then you can attach it along with the cross members, build yourself a little ramp for the wheelbarrow, and load up all of the rest.
Thanks so much everyone for watching. If you liked our video or found it helpful, please click like and subscribe at the bottom. And we hope to see you around for more of our videos. Thanks so much.